Hey, Harmony back with another queer history moment. I'm going to see how this goes. It's been a rough couple of days, but I want to try and keep on top of doing these queer history TikToks because it's fun and cool to do. I wanted to talk about a couple of history moments that I found in regards to school or like education groups. So I'll put on screen here a classified or like a clip of a classified article. Classified ad is what they're called. That is for Canada's first gay student group, UTHA. On October 24th, 1969, a man named Jerald Moldenhauer, I'll spell it out, Moldnhauer, founded Canada's first gay student group, the University of Toronto Homophile Association, or UTHA. And I'll put that acronym again here. And his ad is the classified ad. And it was put in the university's student newspaper, the Varsity. It said, anyone interested in discussing the establishment of a, all caps, student homophile organization, please contact Jerry, phone 922-2050 after 5 p.m. I'm not sure what the difference is between a gay student organization or a group or a GSA. Maybe they're the same things. If anyone kind of knows the difference between those two things, let me know. But yeah, this dude Jerald Moldenhauer was bravely the first one to kind of put it in a student newspaper, like anyone interested in getting together and doing gay stuff. And Jerald, he was also a part of like a lot of other historical moments in the 70s. So I'll jump around a little bit again. The chaos of this cannot be understated. I'll put a picture here. It's from the archives. It shows the storefront of the Glad Day Bookstore, has the address listed as 598, and it says like LGBTQ bookshop, kind of in like bold graffiti like letters underneath like a window that has a bunch of books with shelves on them. So in 1970, again in Toronto, Ontario, the Glad Day Bookstore was opened by Jerald Moldenhauer, the same person. So Glad Day Bookshop was the first queer-focused Canadian bookstore and is the oldest queer bookstore worldwide. I'll put a link to the Glad Day Bookstore here. In another moment, I'll come back and I'll talk about the second queer bookstore in Canada, which is actually right here in Vancouver, BC, which is where I am. Well, I'm in New Westminster, but the closest kind of city is Vancouver, BC. And it's affectionately known as Little Sisters, but the full name is Little Sisters Book and Art Emporium. And I promise I will come back and talk about them because hometown pride. Again, in 1971, Jerald Moldenhauer founded The Body Politic, which was Canada's first gay publication, again in Toronto, Ontario. And he did that a few weeks after the We Demand protest. I talked about the We Demand protest in a previous moment, and it was yeah, again in 1971, it had 10 kind of demands that they had written out and submitted to government. And after that, probably realizing that they needed a voice to carry on beyond the protest is what I'm assuming. I don't know if that's the reason the body politic. Again, it's been another kind of archival material that I've wanted to dive into, but just biting off these very little bits of information without doing a full deep dive into it feels like the right move right now because I'm still in the 1970s and I have facts up into including like a couple months ago, so I want to try and get those over and out there before I start doing more research. But I'll put a cover of The Body Politic up here. Image description is that it reads The Body Politic. It has a black and white picture of one of the buses that was used to transport people from surrounding areas into the protest that was held in Ottawa. So the one of the buses that transported the people from the surrounding areas, it says Gay Rights Ottawa, Gay Rights Now, on a placard in the front of the bus, and it has a bunch of people just kind of standing around and looking awesome and queer and ready to activate. And the issue is dated November to December 1971. So, I mean, homosexuality, 2S LGBTQIA stories were constantly misinterpreted in the media, but within this publication, queer people could see themselves within its covers, be connected to fellow queers, and find necessary support and services. The offices of the body politic were inside of the bookstore, the Glad Day Bookstore, also Jerald Moldenhauer icon, the bookstore we learned about earlier. When researching content, and this is again, I have probably 10 favorite photos from doing these history moments, and this is one of them. It had a photo of like a guy just like lounging back, completely naked, typing at a typewriter or something, smoking a cigarette, and it was like a view of the offices of the body politic. And I'm like, it would be so rad to just be like working alongside people. Back then, as it feels great to work in community right now with other queer people. Writing queer content that was geared for queer people inside of a building that was a queer establishment, like that just sounds so liberating. In 1971, the University of Western Ontario, a student establishment was set up there called the University of Western Ontario Homophile Association. I'll put a picture up here of a hand-drawn agenda. It's on like a pale green piece of paper with the acronym UWOHA, hand-drawn at the top. This group was an on-campus social group for gay and lesbian students. This agenda lists dances, films, sensitivity, legal aid, lectures, research, sessions, and counseling. Some of the agenda items are probably still found, honestly, on a lot of groups that even organize today. And then it says at the bottom, for women and men, for non-students and students, for straight gays, and for straights, gays, and bisexuals. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the designation of being trans or two-spirit or any of the things that are now in the current alphabet soup. 2S LGBTQIA+ is the now current acronym that fully captures all the different intersections within the queer and trans community. And then it says, weekly meetings, Mondays, 8 p.m., Somerville room, and then again those like 7-digit phone numbers that are just so nostalgic, 439-8529. And I'll do one more fact I think I can squeeze in before the 10 minutes runs out. And this is fast forwarding all the way to 1997, and now we're in Maple Ridge, BC. In 1997, Romy Chandra started Canada's first GSA at Thomas Haney High School in Maple Ridge, BC. GSAs are student-led or community-based organizations that are found in educational institutions. They run like any other official club with a president, secretary, treasurer, and other members. They meet on a regular basis somewhere deemed safe on school property and are usually partially facilitated by a teacher or school administrator. Their role is to provide a safe and supportive environment and provide information and resources for 2S LGBTQIA+ students and their allies. An even more important role that they're serving now, that a lot of anti-trans legislation is now making our way into the school system. So that's it for this moment. Don't know what I'll talk about next. That was super chaotic, but thank you for sticking with me. I'll see you in the next one. Please be kind to each other and yourselves. Bye.
Here is the info for the Glad Day Bookshop.